Tessa wanted me to remind everyone that this is episode 26 of Test Talks 2.0. Enjoy!
Test 1, test 2, you're gonna test me, I'm gonna test you.
What time is it? Test time. What time is it? Test time. Hello, everyone. Hello, my beautiful baby dolls. I'm so glad you're joining me for another episode of Test Talks 2.0. We have a lot to catch up on, and let's just get right into it. So I think when we left off, we had talked about Father's Day coming up. My first Father's Day without my dad. Actually, second, right? Oh, and I think the first one was around that time I scored that goal, when we did the vets versus local celebrities. That was really, really, really cool. So I did work for the day because I thought it would be a good distraction. I flew out to Albuquerque and I called the game for the New Mexico Chupacabras versus the Northern Arizona Wranglers. The Chupacabras won. They've only won 2 games this season, and guess who's been on the call for both? Am I their lucky charm? Yes. Am I a chupacabra? Also, yes. So that was really, really, really fun. I also had the night there at the Pyramid Marriott, and I like that place for 2 reasons. One, it's right by a Marigold Cafe, and I think I've told you guys about this place. They serve breakfast and lunch all day long. They have amazing, what I think is like authentic New Mexican fusion cuisine. So I'm going to get into yummy stuff I've eaten, but I do like staying at Pyramid for that reason. And then I had got the game times confused. I thought it was 4 p.m. Mountain Time and it was 2 p.m. Mountain Time. So I almost missed the game completely. Good thing I had planned to be there 2 hours early because I was half ready when the producer Ben called and was like, "Hey, do you need a ride?" And I was like, "No, I'm going to get there soon." And he was like, "Okay, well, it's pretty close to game time." I was like, come get me right now. Anyway, no harm, no foul. Jeff Symbiota, my co-host, he does the play-by-play. They recorded the intro with him, and I did get there, and it was actually a really, really, really exciting game. So that was very nice, thinking about Dad. And then, I actually wasn't. I was kind of burying that part in the back of my mind, and it didn't hit me until later in the day because I ordered some food. I said, I'm just going to stay in. I'm not going to do anything big. It's Father's Day. I'm just going to stay in the hotel room, maybe get some extra sleep. I did get a good workout in after the game, and I ordered like a whole bunch of delicious Thai food. I ordered like sticky rice, noodles, papaya salad, the whole thing. And I was waiting for the delivery. And so I had a glass of wine, and as I was drinking the red wine, I thought, man, me and Dad used to he really didn't drink towards the end of his life, but every now and then if I brought a good bottle of red, he would have some. And so it was like just a nice little moment to remember him. And yeah, I'm feeling more at ease. You guys know how it goes. Like the grief doesn't leave, the missing them doesn't leave, but you accept that they are with you still, watching over you, and in a better place at the end of the day. So that's how it went there. I came home on Monday, but then I had a flight out the next day. While I was at Hobby, I did do a tiny bit of shopping. They have a PGA Superstore, and I bought a cute little carry-on, a cute little neck pillow. And so I really, really, really want a new carry-on luggage. That red one, I think I'm going to give that one to Travis. I kind of bought it out of necessity because I accidentally had put my carry-on that I normally use in storage at Europa. Like, oops, accident. After we got back from the Alaska cruise, I just wanted all the luggage out of the apartment. So I sent Travis over to my Europa house and he put it there. Well, then when I had to pack, I didn't have it. So I was like, no, it's fine. I can just do one of the carry-ons over the shoulder. That'll be my bag. No, I have back and neck problems. That quickly was a problem. So I got a cute little carry-on made in Italy. I forget the brand, from the PGA store, but it was on sale. It was only like $110, and I think Travis will use it and like it, and I'll just give it to him. But I bought it out of necessity. And then the neck pillows were like 2 for $25, so I bought those. Plus, I'm a golf girly now. You got to support your local PGA store. Anyway, I really, really, really want a Rimowa carry-on. The one I want is a beautiful green, but it's like $4,000. Guys, I just can't make that make sense. I really can't. Not in this economy, not without a paycheck coming in. So alas, I will be using my Anne Klein, Anna Klein little carry-on. It's purple and black, and it's got little gold accents. I do really like it. It is pretty, but it's just old. I've had it for years and years and years. So it is kind of time for an upgrade, but we're not quite at the Rimowa level yet. Okay. Maybe when this podcast explodes, maybe when everyone realizes how charming and funny I am, we will get a brand new suitcase. Okay. So let me tell you about my California trip. I usually visit California at least 2 to 3 times a year. You guys know I used to live out here in LA, and I'm actually recording this podcast from a place we call The Cave. And it is my friend Monique's back. It's the back of her parents' house. It's basically their pool house. But when I lived in LA, I had originally moved with a girl named Stephanie, and we were best friends for many years. We also played in the lingerie football league together. She had wanted me to move. She was a property manager. She had an extra room in her apartment, and she wanted me to move out here to hang out with her because she had just gotten divorced. And me and Steph always had a really fun time. Well, I didn't want to move out here. I didn't have a job, but then I got the KFI gig, and I was like, oh, that actually makes sense because Stephanie lived in Encino and KFI is in Burbank. So I moved out here, and I would give Steph around $400, and that by no means is like rent in LA. Rents are a lot higher, but remember, she's a property manager, and so she wasn't paying any rent. And I would also help her like put flyers on doors, notices and stuff. I would help her anytime she needed because Steph isn't exactly, she's a very work smarter, not harder type of gal. And if I could help her in any way, I would. Well, one day my friend Stephanie, my best friend, my sister, she had come to Corpus Christi when she got divorced. She needed a place to stay. My mom reworked her whole resume so that she could get, property managing jobs and stuff like that. I remember I didn't have work that day, or maybe I had work, and I met her for coffee or lunch, which is weird because I would always just catch her at home. And she told me that God told her in a dream to kick me out of the apartment. And no notice, just like that, she wanted me to get my stuff out. She wanted to change the locks. And when I tell you guys that this was my sister who looked me in the face, and I said, Stephanie, why would you blame God? I said, even if it's true, I said, there has to be some part of you that is like going to be okay with this. I said, because you're like putting me all the way out. Our mutual friend Monique was so pissed. She came, she helped me grab my stuff. I came and I lived in the cave with Mo and continued to work my part-time job at KFI. And guys, I did that until I got the job with Rod Ryan. So my season of like luck and abundance, it didn't come without losing a really good friend, realizing who your real friends are, and some struggle. At that time too, I was leaning heavy into, because I didn't have a lot of I don't have a lot of family out here. I have girlfriends from the league, and of course I'm friendly. Like I make friends everywhere I go. But I would go to church because I would just listen. I was like, I have to lean into my inner self, what God has for me, walk by faith, not by sight. So I don't know if I've ever told that story, but I guess it just kind of, you're hit with some nostalgia when you come back to a place and you're a different person, you know what I mean? But this is the same old place. This is really a safe space for me. Most parents are awesome. Her dad was always reminding us to work out. And of course, me and Mo would go flail and lollygag a little bit, but we were both trying to kind of make something of ourselves at the time. And her parents were always nothing but supportive. They paid for many dinners for us, never charged me rent. Even if I would try to give them something, it's like, no, you just focus on yourself. That's a gift to us. And, it almost makes me really, it makes me really emotional because that to me is like, true love and support. And it's one of the biggest gifts you can give people. And now that I'm older, I try to be that, for my sister or for anyone who needs it, anyone who's having like a down and out time, because I've certainly been there. And I think that's what being human is about. And I think our country in a lot of ways, we've seen how divided we've been, but we've also seen all these international people from the world come and say, hey, this is a really beautiful place you guys live in. And just like being kind to your neighbors, so important. And it's a really, it makes me super emotional because if you grew up in a household where maybe you had to earn love, when someone gives it freely to you, it's very touching, and I didn't expect to cry this episode. God, I kind of always just have it there. Am I just like a really emotional person? I am, to be fair, I am closing out that time of the month. I have been on my period on vacation. I know, but we're wrapping it up. So maybe this is the pretty bow on that. It's a nice, it's not a sad cry. It's like it's a gratitudeful cry. So very nice. So very nice. Okay. So that's where I'm recording the podcast from, but how did I get here? How did it all happen? So my friend Gigi, another sister I consider out here in LA, she played a wide receiver for the LA Temptation, and we became friends during the league. And Gigi was always kind of quiet. She was actually a special ed teacher for many years. And she lived in Orange County, Costa Mesa area. And I would always go out and, kind of check out that side of town. And I remember I was dating a guy one time, but he was kind of a jerk. Like he was kind of into me, but he kind of wasn't. He wasn't like consistent with me, and he was really cute and I liked him, but I went to go hang out with Gigi, and the plan was I was going to go to his like younger brother's birthday party, but I was having so much fun with Gigi, and this dude would diss me all the time. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to diss you for my friends. And he was pissed. I remember he was calling me, and he lived down, LA is much like Houston in that everywhere is like an hour away from everything. And I forget what part of town he lived in, but Gigi was in Orange County, and he goes, I'm going to go get you. And I said, no, do not. I said, I'm here. I'm not leaving. I want to stay. And he was like, this is so disappointing. I'm like, oh, isn't your own medicine just like a little bitter? Wow. Oh, wow. So these are a couple of tales from my youth. And that brings me upon another story. Now, this one is not California related. This is one that Sloan Rinaldi, who, is a female pitmaster, lives in Houston and actually Kingwood, to be specific, has a nice home in Kingwood. And me and Sloan are trying to do some TV projects together. But I said, Sloan, when technology first started, I was a bartender. And, texting was a brand new thing. And I had a lot of guys' numbers because I was behind the bar. I'd be wearing like a little shirt, low-rise jeans and flirting with all the guys. And if a guy was a big tipper, I would get their number. I'd give him my little flip phone. I'd go, here, put your number in my phone. Because whenever I worked, I wanted to text all of them and be like, come to the bar. I'm behind the bar tonight. These are the specials, a little bit of a hustler, a little bit of a fast girl, but whatever. I wasn't like hooking up with all these guys, but I knew who had a bankroll and who was single. So when texting first started, and you could finally like send a picture through the phone, I remember one night I was wearing like, again, a little skimpy outfit, like little itty bitty top, jeans, and I took a really sexy picture in the mirror. Well, then when I put send, it was like all the contacts popped up. So I like picked all the guys who I knew were the bankrollers and who I wanted to send the message to. And I thought the message would be sent individually to each of them. I put my slutty little picture in a group chat with like half the guys in Corpus Christi. Okay? That's what I did. I did that one time. And that was the story of the first time technology failed me. And maybe that's why I don't trust AI. Maybe that's why I don't like the way this is going for us. Maybe that's why I'm against data centers. That is such an embarrassing story, because most of my stories I feel like end with me scoring a goal, being cool. Look at me. I got chosen for this position. Look, no. I am very human. And that shit was very embarrassing. But you know what? This is a safe space. And I am here. I am put on this earth to entertain the masses. And so please, please laugh at my pain. Enjoy that. Okay. Let's get back to Gigi. My friend Gigi has now in, I guess 10 years time, 8 years time, maybe even more. She has become a firefighter, and I'm so proud of her. She worked in LA County. She worked in Costa Mesa, but she got a job in San Luis Obispo, which is, guys, it's the central coast of California. It is an idyllic town. It is beautiful. It is right on the water. And wow, she is just killing it. Well, while she was first there, she goes, hey, you need to come visit me. And I was like, yeah. Well, it's been so long. I just haven't booked the trip. She ended up buying a house about 30 minutes away in Paso Robles. Now, the locals call it Paso Robles. I always thought it was Paso Robles, but it's wine country. It's Central Coast. It's beautiful. So here's what I did. There's a direct flight from Hobby to San Jose. There's an Amtrak from the San Jose airport. It's about 6 minutes away. And so I get on the Amtrak from San Jose, and I was very nervous because my flight was supposed to land at 9:50. There was a maintenance delay that took 10 minutes, and the train was leaving at 10:27. And I said, fuck, that's cutting it close, but I knew it was right around the corner. I had done the little Google map thing. I had done the logistics of it. I was very nervous. And then since the plane was delayed, I was like, shit, I don't think I'm going to make the train. And Gigi said, look, no worries. If anything, me and my mom will go get you. It's about 2.5 hours away. And I thought, I don't want them to drive that far to pick me up. I don't want to be a burden when I get there. I just want to enjoy my friend and, whatever. And so I'm like worrying. But I'm like, Tessa, don't worry about the problem. You always say worrying does nothing. Worrying is giving the problem more power than it deserves. I have all these things about having just a good attitude towards things, and it can change. So I even you just want to put yourself in the best case scenario. And if you try as hard as you can and it still goes wrong, well, it's like, okay, well, I did everything I could. I booked the very first seat, the aisle seat closest to the door. Cause I'm like, I'm going to get out. I'm going to be the first one off the plane. Boom, 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 grab my bags and boom, I'm out. And it really is. San Jose is a very efficient airport. From the plane to outside to get my Uber, 5-minute walk. I'm not exaggerating. It was that quick. Okay. I didn't stop to use the restroom or anything. I just went straight outside. The Uber picked me up. I called for the Uber as soon as I walked out of the plane. And I actually had to wait about 1 minute. So maybe 6 minutes. And then remember, the train station is another 6 minutes away. Well, when I was on the plane, I paid for the Wi-Fi so that I could be texting Gigi, and I got a notification that the plane was delayed. No, not the plane. The train was delayed. Amazing. Okay, so then I had time, and I was like, yay, my witchcraft, my positive thinking, I manifested the train delay. But then I think I manifested too hard because it was supposed to leave at 10:30. It didn't end up leaving till noon. Well, that gave me some time to think. I originally had bought a coach ticket for about $60. Okay. So $60 to get you from San Jose to wine country in Paso. That's still a pretty good deal, but there are these upgrades that are still available. So I go up to the counter and I talk to this guy and I said, hey, I'm on the Starlight. I have a coach seat. Are there any upgrades available? And he says, let me look. He goes, yeah, there's a coachette available. And I go, the roomette, not the coachette, the roomette. He goes, well, it's for 2 people. He goes, but you could buy it and you'd have your own privacy room. You could make it into a bed. It's on the 2nd floor. So you'd have a nice view by the window. He goes, so would you like to do it? I said, well, how much more is it? And I think it was like $130 more. I think it was $130 more. And I said, is it worth it? And he said, oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It comes with a free lunch. Well, not free, but it comes with lunch. You can order yourself a glass of wine. You'll have your privacy. Yes, I recommend it. I said, okay, let's do it. So I did that. And it was such a nice vibe. It was so good. It was such a nice trip. I did enjoy the scenery. There was some nice mountains. You guys know how flat and how humid and hot it's been in Houston. I love my city, but damn, it was just a relief to see some mountains. And then you go through Salinas, California. And that's where that Salinas, California is known as the salad bowl of the world. Of the country, of the United States, because so much of our agriculture, so much of our fruits and vegetables come from that area. My friend Marisol, that is where she was born and raised. And Marisol is someone who I worked with down in Corpus Christi. And she's a beautiful, beautiful person. She's now full-time mommy of 3 beautiful girls. Her husband is a coach at one of these really prestigious high schools in Houston. I want to say Memorial. Does that sound right? So yeah, so that's my, my little knowledge drop for Salinas. I get to, and I also even got to take a little bit of a nap. I got to take a little bit of a nap. It was very nice. I did put the flat seats down, and I started it with manifesting because I was just so grateful. And I said, well, I've been, working out. What do I want to do with my life? And what's my next thing? And where do I want to go that I'm valued and I'm happy? And, that's what I'm trying to work out right now. And I'm so glad I have the freedom and the flexibility. It did come from that year when I worked both TV and radio. I was always putting at least a paycheck aside, some money aside, so that when I did come to a point in my career where I asked for a very moderate, mild raise, and they were crazy enough to tell me no, that I could say, okay, well, I'm going to take a step back. And that's what I've been doing. Okay. That's what I've been doing. And it's been working out really well so far. Okay. I'm trying to walk by faith, not by sight. Gigi, her mom, and Gigi's new 10-month-old Newfoundland slash sheepdog, Old English sheepdog, Hope, pick me up. From there, we go straight to a winery called Eberly Wine, and the owner actually was sitting out there in front. He's got 2 black poodles. One of them is a puppy. So Hope and that puppy were playing, jousting. And that's where it started. I just started catching up with one of my best friends, Gigi. She's been great. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of the life she's created for herself. And I'm so happy she lives in such a cool place that I can go visit. So Eberly Wines was delicious. We then went home. She showed me her new house, and they are going to fix it. She says it's a fixer-upper. This house is awesome already. It's got a pool like overlooking a valley. You can hear all the nature, the birds. There were deer on the way. There were 2 little Bambi deer on the way up her long driveway, which, I've been studying real estate. It's actually an easement. So it's someone else's property, but it's an easement because she needs that road to get to her property, which is up a hill. And she had a bedroom for me in the front of the house, extra bathroom there. She, like I mentioned, she has a pool. She has a couple of grapevines growing. She has chickens. She has one chicken that's, I think, becoming a rooster because I could hear it trying to, it like couldn't quite cock-a-doodle-doo yet. I think that rooster thinks he's a duck because she's also got 2 ducks and he kind of hangs out with them. So very, very fun time. So she shows me the house, and then we don't really freshen up. We just grabbed the bikes and we went down to this place called 1122. It's a speakeasy that not a lot of people know about. You ring the doorbell once, they open the little peephole, and they go, how many? 2. And then they go and check if they have room, because I think most people that can be in that speakeasy is like probably 12 to 15 people. It's very small. It's very cool. She opens the door. She checks our ID. She says, oh, welcome from Texas. I'm like, I'm so happy to be here. It's a bookshelf. She pulls a book. The door opens up, and it's like this awesome little, it looks like, a lab back there, an alchemist lab. We get 2 seats at the bar. I ordered a butter pecan old fashioned, delicious, perfect, smooth, no notes on that. I actually do have a note on that. It didn't originally come with one of those cherries, but I had them add that, and that was a very good move by me. Then Gigi ordered a dirty gin martini. I convinced her to do the gin, and I think the bartender helped me as well. But did you know you can order the martini bruised? He goes, would you like that bruised or unbruised? And we're like, well, what's that? Bruised is when it has a thin layer of icicles at the top. So of course she wants that. She goes, I'm going to order that all the time. So we do that. We get a cute little buzz going, and then we're on the bikes. We're on bikes. And then we go to an Italian restaurant, and the Italian restaurant was called Buona Tavola, and they do like handmade pastas. She knew the bartender at the front. We were lucky enough, boom, got 2 seats there right away. And she's like, I'm surprised. She goes, all the places I'm taking you to are usually packed. But I got there on when did I get there? I got there on like a Tuesday. Yeah, like a Tuesday. So it worked out. And we had 2 orders of tortellini, homemade tortellini. One was stuffed with veal, one was stuffed with mozzarella. And apart, they were good, but together, like one of each on the same fork and the same bite, oh, perfect. perfection, so delicious. And then we shared a Caesar salad. And then we had kind of a debate on like, do you like sardines on the top? And I'm like, me, I really don't, but I know sardines are good for your skin. So I ate a really thin one and it was very flavorful. I think that's surprising to some people that I don't like sardines because it's such a salty dish and I love salt. I'm obsessed with salt. Gigi doesn't like salt. Anyway, also, side note, my friend Gigi is like a jiu-jitsu world champion. She's a very impressive human being. Again, so proud of her. Also, she looks like a blonde, like have you seen American Gladiators? She looks like she could be on that show. Like she'll kick your ass and make you thank her for it. My God, I'm so obsessed with her. Okay, and I'm obsessed with her new dog. Okay, also, Gigi and I had this joke because she was like, are you sure you can ride the motorized bike? And I'm like, Gigi, I'm a fucking grown-up. Well, the last time I had rode her motorized bike, we had parked it in this really busy part of Costa Mesa, and when I put my foot down, there was no land. There was just a drain, and I like fell down in front of everyone, and there was like a loud crash. Anyway, so we're riding back with the leftovers up her driveway, which is basically a hill mountain, and we're going up. We make it. She opens the gate. We get to it, and I'm like trying it. We're on an exact incline. I'm like pushing. I fucking lost control and I tipped over because I was tipsy. I think I had a little too much. Anyway, I was so close and we just laughed about it. It was very funny. I have a picture of the bike on the floor by the bush on the ground because I had wrecked it again. So it was very, very fun, very silly, but I did have like I woke up the next morning. I had like 3 bruises on my thigh and like a scrape on my ankle. I was like, oh yeah, I crashed the bike last night. Very good for me. So then the next day, Gigi got up and I had started my period. I know, gross. The blood moon had risen and she does a CrossFit class. And normally I would try to go because I like to kind of gauge where I'm at. If I'm like, I know if I can hang with Gigi, like I'm doing pretty good physical wise. I'm not going to like beat her, burn her, smoke her in a workout. I'm not going to outlift her. I'm not going to outgrip her. But if I can hang, I'm feeling pretty good about my life. And I was actually looking forward to working out with her, but man, I had cramps. So I just stayed with her mom. I love her mom. So Gigi's mom, Gay, is so cool. And you know, moms are interesting, right? Because I don't like to hang out with my mom. She's too much of a wild card. I guess we're like too much alike. Like there can only be one. But with some of my friends' moms, like I really enjoy them as a friend. Like sometimes I want my friends to like dismiss themselves so I can have one-on-one time with just their moms. And Gigi left to do the workout. So I got to have a cup of coffee with Gay and hang out with Hope and, you know, just catch up and tell her how my family was, ask her about their family, her dad, Glenn. This is another family that I feel has been crucial in my feeling accepted and well received in California. You know, another family that has just like welcomed me with open arms and always just spoiled me. Just it feels so good. If you're a part of one of these families that's like this, count your blessings, okay? Just be thankful that your family is so kind and so loving and they treat your friends as one of their own, okay? That's how it feels anytime I'm over here. So then Gigi gets back and of course we're getting ready and she's hungry and I'm like, hey, I'm not really that hungry. My stomach is kind of in knots and I took the fucking skinny shot before I left because I was getting out of control. Remember I told you I ordered that Thai food when I was at the indoor football game? I ordered like $100 worth of food and I ate all of it. I had mango sticky rice for dessert. I had papaya salad for appetizer. I had these things called jungle noodles for the main. And I had one more. Oh, and then I had chicken satay skewers and I ate all of it. So my appetite's been crazy. So I took the shot. So it was like a combination of like feeling weak from the shot, having my period. But she was like, when are you going to be hungry? And I'm like, no. I'm finally hungry. I swear I'm finally hungry. So we went to this vineyard, put this on your to visit vineyards. Okay. And Gigi's a member of all the wine clubs. So she's not taking me to like, oh, this is a cute place. She's taking me to the place with bomb food, bomb views, and amazing wine. Okay. It's called Calcareus. Calcareus? Calcareus. Calcareus. Okay. So when you're a member, you get like 4 complimentary tastings per month. And she's using all her tastings on me. And I'm so grateful for her. Isn't that nice? That's a big deal. Anyway, so we tell the waiter, we know we want to start with the olives because apparently these olives are bomb. But then we tell the waiter to just pick whichever, because apparently everything on this menu is good. We couldn't decide. So these olives come out in a low martini glass. And they're warm and they're like blistered. And it's olives also with Marcona almonds, like the shaved ones. And they have some sort of like seasoning, not chili powder, not like truffle salt, just like a little reddish, orangish sprinkled seasoning. And they're warm and they're blistered. And they're those green Castellino olives. And that with the wine that we're drinking is like, those are the best olives I've ever had. Those are the best olives I've ever had. And you're thinking like, it's just olive. They just heated them up. Okay, well, they were perfect. They were perfect. Then we shared a burger, truffle fries. Obviously, that's delicious. That's like always a slam dunk. Then this delicious gold beet and regular beet burrata salad. And you guys already know I want to change my last name to Tessa Barrera because I'm obsessed with that cheese. With the balsamic, it was just the views. It was so, so nice. It was so delicious. And I think that's in my top 5 lunches I've ever had. Like I have no notes for that lunch. Maybe it was the scenery. Maybe it was the company. Maybe it's how I'm feeling. Maybe I was a reflection of that lunch and I was just experiencing me in the wholest version of myself. It was so fucking good. Like, that's how good. Like, I'm becoming a poet philosophizer after having this lunch. So 10 out of 10, recommend that. After lunch, what do we do after lunch? Did we go taste more? I think she kind of just like showed me around town. Then we went to, she's a part of this book club at a winery in town called Alamar. And it's pronounced Alamar. It's the old way that the vaqueros used to tie a knot. Alamar is like a type of knot that they use, like a cinch on the horses. And the owner of the winery apparently is like a 7th generation Mexican Californian, Mexicali guy. And you should see, they had like a Virgen de Guadalupe. They had all these little cowboy vaquero stuff on the walls. So I already felt connected to this place, you guys, if you know what I mean. But that's where the book club is too. So the staff was amazing. The owners are friendly. Gigi made me go to this book club, but they do like a little arts and crafts. So I like painted a coaster, had some delicious rosé. Also, the one of the owners, I think her name is Chelsea. She makes homemade cookies for the book club. Guys, this chocolate chip cookie is better than crumble. It was better than crumble. She goes, and I'm on my period, so I like really want chocolate. Big old thick chunks. I go, can I take another one? She goes, take 2. She goes, here's what you need to do. When you get home, put it in the freezer. Put it in the freezer and then, let it wait a little bit. And she goes, they're really good cold too. I did that. She, in fact, knows what the fuck is up. Okay. It was amazing. And yeah, I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed the Alamar hospitality. I think that's one of Gigi's favorite wineries as well. We went there a couple times. We also went there to watch Team USA play in soccer versus Turkey, who stupid goal at the end. Anyway, I'm going to focus on the good. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So that was fun. We ended up getting dinner to go. And I think we got Thai food from there that night as well. I'm obviously taking way less bites of things because I'm on that shot and I have a little buzz going. And it was just great. It was just amazing, 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 amazing. What other wineries did we go to? We went to an Austin Hope. It's called Hope on the Park, and they just do standing room tastings. They also sell like a caviar snack, and it comes in a little box, and it's kettle cooked chips, homemade creme fraiche, and a little thing of caviar on a chip. So fucking good. $40. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Austin Hope, I think, has a lot of name recognition, and apparently their main winery is really big and nice. They are so generous on their pours with the tastings. So that gets I give it like an 8 out of 10, but it wasn't my favorite. I think my favorite was the next day when we drove to Morro Bay. So Morro Bay is where Gigi was staying originally when she got the job in San Luis Obispo. And it's a little beachy town. Guys, it's so amazing. Like, I want to go back to, I want to take my family. I want to like share it with people. I want to share Morro Bay with people. So we get there, immediately find a great parking space because that's the kind of vibe I'm bringing to the party, to the function. It's like people think I'm joking. I'm not. I will, if you're with me, we'll find perfect parking right in the front every time. Just go straight to the front. It's going to be there because that's the type of vibration I'm vibrating right now. So we go to Morro Bay. We get out. We park right on the water. The boats, the seagulls, the bay. There's a huge rock in the middle that everyone like, it's just beautiful to look at. It's like, why do we like this rock? Because it looks awesome, because it's huge, because it's right on the water. Gigi's ready for lunch because, again, she worked out in the morning. I did not. We go to this grassy bar shucker shed, and they have fresh oysters. So we get 6 raw and 6 baked. And they had this little mignonette that kind of reminded me of the Oyster Bros. It's like lime juice, shallot, cilantro, jalapeno, and it's green. It looks like a green salsita. We got a small, medium, large oysters to eat. Boom, ate those, downed them. Delicious. Put a little Tabasco in there too. We also got the baked ones. Those were phenomenal. They had like little breadcrumbs that you could tell they'd been broiled on top. So good. We also went to a restaurant above the Shuckers bar, and there, me, Gay, and Gigi all split a bread bowl filled with clam chowder. And it was so good. And guys, there's like crazy seagulls everywhere. And there are signs like, watch out for these seagulls. Like, we're not responsible. Like, protect your food. Don't leave your food unattended. We literally saw a seagull snag half of a burger out of 2 people's hands. Like, we saw it, and those people moved and they were pissed. But there were signs. There were signs literally everywhere. That was a perfect lunch. We also had a glass of wine with that. And not like a fancy one. I think I had a rosé. I think Gigi had a Sauv Blanc. It was just so nice right there on the water. It was cold. It was cooler. Like, I was in a sweatshirt, my Flower Child Houston sweatshirt. Houston represents still on the Central Coast. Then we walked to the big rock. Hope also took a dump on the pier, and it was so embarrassing. But anyway, focus on the good. Guys, there was an otter nursery. So there's this little area where all the otters are floating, hanging on to each other, and some of them had babies. And you know how otters are. They're like, some of them are doing flips. They're just there being so cute. So I just sat there and I just watched them. And that was an epic time. Then it was time to walk back. Gigi wore boots. I don't know why she wore boots. Me and her mom had tennis shoes on. She was like, my feet are going to hurt and I can't have blisters because I'm a firefighter. Fine. Go save a life. Whatever. You need to save lives. We wanted to be tourists. But anyway, stopped at Morro House of Jerky. Got some hot jerky. Very good. Then we went to what I think is my favorite wine in the whole area. It's called Absolution. We went and did a tasting. Gigi is a member, of course, to this wine club as well. So she had to pick up her cases because she moved. And the bottles had beautiful artwork. The wine was phenomenal. I think I am going to join this wine club. Absolution. I got to show you guys the pictures of the bottles. Just the pictures alone. You eat with your eyes first. That was very fun. So we finished out our wine tasting there, and then we went back to Paso. And that was such a fun day. Now, you know, I'm kind of like early to bed, early to rise type of situation now. So when we would get home early, we'd feel all good and buzzed. Well, then we were watching a documentary on Netflix called Maternal Instinct. That's the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. I'm glad we only watched half of it at night and finished the other half during the day because I'm pretty sure I would have had nightmares. Maternal Instinct on Netflix is about a woman who fakes her pregnancy and to try to prove everyone that she was wrong, that she wasn't a liar. She does the most heinous thing you can think of. I'll let your imagination fill in the blanks. If you want to watch it, say a prayer before because it is so beyond fucked up. I also caught up on Love Island. I kind of have a lot of thoughts. Like, there was another racist girl from Miami. Like, is it a rule if you're like Latin in Miami, like you also have to have a little bit of a racist past? Is that just the rule? She got kicked off the show anyway. There was also a recoupling, and I think we're going to go watch Love Island at a bar tonight. If my friend Mo ever gets here, that's another shit show to begin with. And it's actually not a shit show. It's like pretty on brand for our relationship. So Mo's parents went to go get me from Paso because I was like, should I extend my time here? And the answer was yes. So we went up, we meet up with Hector and Susie. We have wine with them. That was all very fun. But then I come back with them and I'm like, where's Mo? She's like, I told you I had a party to go to and it's not close. I said, did you leave me your car? She goes, no, take my mom's. And I said, Mo, what the fuck? You're not here. She goes, Tessa, I told you. She goes, I told you twice. I go, Mo, I've been drinking for the last 3 days. She goes, well, there you go. And I go, well, there you go. Hurry up. Come back. She goes, hey, we're going to have a party when I get back. We're going to have a pool day and we'll have aguachiles and mariscos and we'll barbecue by the pool. I'm like, hey, love you. I actually love that she wasn't here because I kind of, you have your best friends and you have your time, but you're spending so much time with people. Like I actually did have stuff to track. Like I actually did have to track the radio on Sunny, the Saturday and Sunday shift, which I was really feeling myself because I'm like, oh my God, I bet I sound so cute. I have the remote kit. Carmen Contreras, my friend Sophia Tucker, they all messaged me. They're like, hey, we heard you on Sunny. You sound so good, blah, 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 blah. Then my boss, my actual radio boss calls me and he's like, hey, you sound like you're 10 feet away from a microphone. I'm like, hey, 2 people just called me and told me I sounded good. So I can't believe I texted him that because then I messaged them. I said, hey, my boss said I sounded like I was 10 feet away from the microphone. And they go, well, yeah, you did kind of sound like you were in a tin can. I just thought you were in a closet, or I just thought you were in a crappy studio. Yeah, you did kind of sound far. I'm like, well, then don't tell me I'm doing a good job, okay? Because now I've sound stupid twice. I'm getting a little nasally here, and I feel like this message is going to have to be a 2-parter. So we'll catch up. I'll let you know how the second half of the trip goes because I actually hear Hector. He's starting to turn on the radio outside, so we might have a little bit of a disturbance going on outside here in a little bit. But Mo's on her way back. She should be here shortly. I'm very happy with my decision to come to California. It always fills my soul up in a different way. I'm so thankful for you guys. Please keep sharing this podcast with your friends. I'm not trying to throw shade to other people that have hosting gigs or more popular podcasts right now, but I know I've got what it takes to take this thing all the way. So just be with me for the journey. That's all I ask. You guys are great. You're amazing. I love you. I hope you had a great Father's Day with your dad. If your parents are still around, give them a call. If they're not, they're still hanging out with us from up above. Okay, that is that is my testimony for the day. I love you. I miss you. I can't wait to get back to Houston and record in my own home, but it has been a good trip down memory lane, making more memories with all my friends in California. They like it when I say y'all. They like it when I say y'all. It was just nice to be around some fucking mountains, to be honest, and not be in the blistering heat. Okay, tea out. I love you so much, and I mean it. Bye-bye, my babies. Until next time.